The title of this podcast is The Wise Person Finds the Win-Wins. I'm going to give a simple example and hopefully you can find some application to it in your own life. One of the things that I do quite often at work, not at work, but in play, is pickleball. I do it quite a few times during the week. And one of my most favorite things to do is a drill. I enjoy that um, as much or even more than I do the actual play. I like the idea of getting a lot of reps on something to get better at it. And one of the things that I also have to be aware of is my ego's tendency to say, why haven't I gotten this down yet? Or why isn't this consistent, this one shot? Why am I not doing that? And I have to let that go and be like, this is all part of the journey. That kind of conversation takes away from the enjoyment of the journey. But this idea of the wise person seeing the wins came to me when I drill with people that whose skill level on the court is not quite where I've developed mine to be. And one idea that my ego likes to hold is they can't help me get better. And what I am reminded by is that what if the people who have drilled with me who were much better had that same kind of thinking that drilling with me was really a sacrifice on their part because I'm not helping them get better. But what I found is that to drill with people who are not quite at the level that you are requires you to develop skills that you might not otherwise have developed. Like there's one thing about hitting the ball when it's fed to you perfectly. It's quite another thing when you have to be the one feeding the perfect ball to the other person as they develop that skill. And early on, when I started to work with people that were not quite at the skill level that I was, dropping that ball in the right place or hitting it in the right spot for them to get the multiple reps to really develop the right form, technique, footwork, and shot takes a lot of practice, both for them and for me. And so it helped me in that respect. And so most recently, I was working with someone who was not quite at the skill level that I was. They could get the ball over the net, but the footwork quite wasn't quite there. They pop the ball up and all those things. And so we just continue to work on that. And the whole time what I'm thinking about is my own footwork. Am I getting down? Or am I hitting this shot right? Am I developing bad habits? Am I staying locked in and present and not having my mind drift when I'm with them, but I'm fully there, ready to make the right movement. And so that's been really a nice win for me as well as a win for them. But there are still some other shots that alone will not help me get better. And so what I came up with was really thinking about how the people that give me lessons, how they are doing certain shots for me. And I asked one of my friends to just do this, just drop the ball here because I'm working on this shot. In this case, it happens to be a two-handed backhand roll across the net as well as deep with a lot of top spin and depth on the ball. And all they had to do was just drop the ball down at a certain spot or in the vicinity at varying heights so that I'd have to get, if they dropped it low, then I have to get really under the ball, which has been a problem for me to get under that ball to lift it over the net with top spin to drop on the other side. Or if they dropped it high, I had to exercise a lot more patience so that the ball got to the height that was optimal. And we did this the other day, and it worked out fabulously. And one of the things that I was also aware of is that if they didn't drop the ball quite where I needed it, or where it was almost like on the other side of me, that I didn't get upset about it or like, man, can you just drop the ball here? I didn't do that. I was like, I need to develop the footwork to get around that ball. One of my friends, Malima, who is a coach, says when a ball is hit a certain way and it's not where I want it, he says, find a way. And so I had an opportunity to do that. And it was really great to have this person just drop the balls for me and put them here and put them there. And I just worked on reps after reps after reps, four or five big baskets of balls for each shot. And it was really fantastic. And I had so much fun. During the first part of our drilling session, which was all centered around them, but also doing the second part of the last third of the drilling session in which they were supporting me with helping develop my shot. And as I'm sharing now, I think there was another benefit too, is that the person that I was with expressed a lot of gratitude for being able to help me. And that was something that had I not thought of this, that I would have robbed them of. And so think about in your own life for the people that you do things for, is there an opportunity when they express gratitude for what you do, is there an opportunity for that they can help you in some way as well, support your goals or support you in a way that is appreciated? So just think about that. The wise person sees the win-wins.